It is the most historic World Cup ever for the African continent, as not only did 10 teams represent the continent in this tournament, 9 made it to the knockout rounds. Welcome to today's video, guys. This is my FIFA World Cup roundup episode 3. Now, as you already know, I've been doing this episode 1, episode 2 roundup of the FIFA World Cup and the group games so far, and this is the last edition that will be covering the group games. And of course, quickly, I'm just going to go into my standout moments of the group stage, and I think obviously it is the fact that 9 of the 10 African teams that qualified for this World Cup made it through to the knockout rounds. Morocco, Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire, DRC, Cape Verde, Egypt, Algeria, and Ghana. In fact, only Tunisia went home in an embarrassing manner. So let's quickly run through the groups and how they ended up. In Group A, Mexico topped the group. South Africa qualified after beating South Korea by 1 goal on the final day, and they are going to face Canada actually in a few hours after I record this video. And of course, Czechia and South Korea were eliminated from the group. So kudos to South Africa. In Group C, Brazil and Morocco qualified. Scotland and Haiti went home. Morocco, gave a good account of themselves in Group C and qualified as I expected. In Group E, Germany, Curacao, Cote d'Ivoire, and Ecuador. Cote d'Ivoire, after that lack of good finishing against Germany in their second game, they came back in the last game against Curacao and finished with 6 points, qualified comfortably. So alongside Curacao, alongside Ecuador and Germany. In Group F, of course, like I said, Tunisia's group, where they lost embarrassingly. Their total goal difference was, I think, minus 12, or goals scored against them was 12, and the goals they scored were just 2. And so, yeah, he finished with a goal difference of minus 10, the most embarrassing African team by far in this tournament, and they went home. In Group G, Belgium, Egypt, Iran, New Zealand. Egypt also qualified alongside Belgium in that group, so kudos to Egypt as well. In Group H, Cabo Verde, did the unthinkable. I probably think this was supposed to be my standout moments from the group stage, because Cabo Verde, for some reason, managed to draw all their group games in that group and still qualified. And they kept 2 clean sheets, and they also scored 2 goals against Uruguay. So Cape Verde are by far the fairy tale story of this tournament. Sadly for them, they come up against Argentina and Leo Messi, who are going for back-to-back World Cups. But it remains to be seen, anything that can happen in the World Cup. I'll get to that shortly. In Group I, France, Senegal, Iraq, and Norway. And I was very concerned for Senegal after the first 2 games, because I think the current African champions should not be losing to Norway, especially. But yeah, they managed to come back and finish as as one of the best third place teams, just behind Norway. And yeah, in Group J, Argentina, Algeria, Austria, and Jordan. And Algeria and Austria drew on the last day, 3-3, in the last game of the group. And so they both went through on 4 points. So Algeria qualified as well in that group alongside Austria and Jordan. In Group K, Portugal, DRC, Uzbekistan, and Colombia. DRC were on the verge of being eliminated because they had just the points going into the last game, and they were go down to Uzbekistan. But up until the 76 minutes, so the game was still 1-1, but they managed to win 3-1, and they made it out as one of the best third place teams on 4 points. And so in Group L, England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama. I think Ghana had already qualified before playing their last game against Croatia. They lost, but they've qualified as one of the best third place teams. So that makes up the 9 African teams. And so far, the teams that I'm rooting for, DRC and Senegal, they've qualified. I'm happy about that. I did say that I was supporting DRC, for a couple of reasons, and I'm happy they made it through. It was tough, but they made it through. Senegal as well, and my favorites to win the competition are still in it. England, Spain, France. They are on what some people think is the tougher side of the draw, but yeah, they're still in it. So I still think out of those 3, France are the most likely team to win it. Spain have not really been impressive. England, maybe they are still growing into the tournament, we see. And as for my flops of the tournament, it is still Portugal. I feel like that game against Uzbekistan fooled some people. That 5-0 win, I say this, when Portugal face a half-decent team in this World Cup, there's a very high chance that they're going to go and they're playing Croatia in the round of 32. and I think Croatia has a strong chance of sending them home. And a lot of people will be disappointed, but people who have looked at this Portugal team logically, objectively, will not be surprised. And of course, the non-African team I'm rooting for, Canada, also made it through to round of 32. So they are going to play South Africa a few hours after I record this video. And of course, let me go into the knockout rounds that involves the African teams, starting with Morocco and Netherlands. And this is like a diaspora war, because a lot of, Morocco has a lot of diaspora population in the Netherlands, and a couple of Moroccan players were also born there. And this is a really, really tough game, because Netherlands are also really, I'll say they are playing well right now. And I don't know, because Morocco are on good form. I think Morocco might edge this one on penalties, but I also wouldn't be surprised if Netherlands win. Senegal versus Belgium, I think this is the time now for Senegal to step up, because Belgium have not even, this game is there for the taking. Belgium have not really been at their best. If Senegal can play like African champions that they are, they can beat Belgium. The Belgium team I've seen have not really been impressive so far, but if Belgium play to their strength, they also can beat Senegal. Of course, Cote d'Ivoire versus Norway. I'm not really sure about this game, but I think if Ireland hits the ground running, if Ireland has a very good game, Norway will knock out Cote d'Ivoire. DRC England, I think this is pretty straightforward for me. I don't see DRC getting past England as much as I want them to. I think this is where their journey ends. Cabo Verde, same thing versus Argentina. Well, it's been a fun fairy tale story so far, but at this point, I also think Argentina have seen what Cabo Verde did in the group stages, so they won't want to take Cabo Verde lightly. Nobody wants to take them lightly, so they're going to prepare seriously for this game. I think they're going to eliminate Cabo Verde as well. Egypt versus Australia, I think Egypt will beat Australia in that one. Algeria versus Switzerland, I think Switzerland will get past Algeria. Colombia versus Ghana, same thing as well. So I think if you ask me how many teams are making it throughout of the 9 teams, I would say Egypt, maybe Morocco. I'd say like 2 or 3. I think about 5, at least 5 African teams will be eliminated in this round. So yeah, and that's it for my FIFA World Cup roundup episode 3. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please share to all football fans and all sport fans and everybody watches the World Cup, like I've been saying since I started recording this series. And until I record my next video, guys, it's bye for now. Ciao.